"Who are you?" Ngozi asked her with a sneer. "You look funny in these clothes." Adaeze felt a lump in her throat. She had never been treated in this way before. "My name is Ada," she said softly. Ifeanyi laughed, looked at Ada. "Go away. We don't want you here." Once upon a time, in the vibrant village of Umuahia, there was a beautiful princess named Adaeze. Adaeze was kind-hearted and loved by everyone in her village. She lived in a grand palace with her parents, King Obinna and Queen Nneka. But Adaeze had a secret wish: to go to a regular school like other children. One sunny morning, Adaeze asked her parents if she could attend the village school. At first, the King Obinna and the Queen Nneka were worried. They wanted to protect their precious daughter, but Adaeze was determined. She promised to disguise herself as an ordinary girl so no one would know she was a princess. The next day, Adaeze wore simple clothes and tied her hair in a plain bun. She looked like any other village girl. She was so excited as she entered Umuahia Primary School. But little did she know, things were not going to be as easy as she thought. As Adaeze walked into the classroom, she saw many children. Some were playing, some were reading, and some chatting happily. She took a deep breath and found a seat at the back of the class. She hoped to make new friends soon. But not everyone was kind. There was 3 children, Ngozi, Ifeanyi, and Chidiebere, who loved to bully new students. They saw Adaeze and whispered to each other. They planned to make her school days miserable. During break, Adaeze tried to join a group of girls playing a game, but Ngozi stepped in front of her. "Who are you?" Ngozi asked her with a sneer. "You look funny in these clothes." Adaeze felt a lump in her throat. She had never been treated in this way before. "My name is Ada," she said softly. Ifeanyi laughed, looked at Ada. "She thinks she can play with us? Go away. We don't want you here." Adaeze felt tears welling up in her eyes. She turned and ran to a quiet corner of the playground. She missed her palace, where everyone was kind to her, but she was determined to stay strong and make friends. Just as Adaeze wiped her tears, a gentle voice spoke. "Are you okay?" Adaeze looked up and saw a girl with a kind smile. Her name was Chinyere. Adaeze nodded slowly. "I am fine. They don't like me." Chinyere sat next to Adaeze and said to her, "Don't worry about them. They are just bullies. My name is Chinyere. Do you want me to be your friend?" Adaeze's face lit up with a smile. "Yes, I would love to be a friend of you," Adaeze said. Chinyere and Adaeze spent the rest of the day together. They played games, shared stories, and laughed a lot. Adaeze felt happy again. She realized that there was a kind people in the school too. The next day, Adaeze felt more confident with Chinyere by her side. But Ngozi, Ifeanyi, and Chidiebere were not yet done. During lunch, they saw Adaeze and Chinyere laughing together. They decided to ruin their fun. Ngozi walked up to them and pushed Adaeze's lunch off the table. "Ups, "Did I do that?" she said, with a fake smile. Adaeze felt angry, but she remembered her promise to her parents to stay strong. "Why are you being so mean?" Adaeze asked bravely. Ifeanyi crossed his arms. "Because you don't belong here." Chinyere stood up. "That's not true. Adaeze is our friend, and she belongs here as much as anyone else." The other children in the cafeteria began to notice what is happening. They didn't like the bullies either. One by one, they stood up and joined Chinyere and Adaeze. As the children rallied around Adaeze and Chinyere, the bullies started to feel nervous. Ngozi, Ifeanyi, and Chidebere didn't expect so many kids to stand up to them. Just then, the school bell rang, signaling the end of the lunch break. Mr. Okeke, the strict yet kind principal, walked into the cafeteria. She noticed the commotion and asked, "What is going on here?" Adaeze stepped forward, her heart pounding. "Mr. Okeke, they were bullying me because they think I don't belong here." Mr. Okeke frowned and turned to the bullies. "Ngozi, Ifeanyi, and Chidebere, is this true?" The bullies looked down at their feet, too ashamed to answer. The principal signed, "Bullying is not tolerated in this school. You three will come to my office after classes today. As for the rest of you, I am proud of you for standing up for what is right." The rest of the day went smoothly. Adaeze felt more accepted and even made more friends. She was happy, but also worried. What if someone found out that I'm a princess? She didn't want special treatment, just wanted to be a normal student. After school, Adaeze and Chinyere walked home together. As they chatted, Adaeze realized she had never told Chinyere her full name. "Chinyere, there was something I wanted to tell you," Adaeze said nervously. Chinyere looked curious. "What is it, Ada?" Adaeze took a deep breath. "My full name is Adaeze. I am the princess of Umuahia." Chinyere's eye widened. "You are the princess? But why didn't you tell anyone?" Adaeze looked down. "I wanted to be treated like everyone else. I wanted to make real friends, not just people who like me because I am a princess." Chinyere smiled warmly. "Adaeze, you are my friend, no matter what. Being a princess does not change that. But I think you should tell everyone. It might help them understand you better." Adaeze felt relieved. "Thank you, Chinyere. I will think about it." The next day, Adaeze decided to take Chinyere's advice. She wanted to tell her classmates the truth, but she was also afraid. What if they treated her differently? What if the bullies became meaner? During morning assembly, Adaeze raised her hand. "Mr. Okeke, may I say something to the class?" Mr. Okeke nodded. "Of course, Ada." Ada walked into the front of the room, her heart beating fast. She took a deep breath and said, "I have a confession to make. My name is Adaeze. I am the princess of Umuahia." The room felt silent. The students whispered to each other, surprised by the revelation. The bullies standing at the back looked shocked and guilty. "I wanted to come to this school to make real friends," Adaeze continued. "I don't want anyone to treat me differently because of who I am. I hope you can understand." Chinyere stood up in the class and clapped Soon, other students joined Mrs. Okeke, smiled proudly. Thank you for being honest. Adaeze, you are welcome here. Presence or not, bullies felt ashamed as they realized they had been unfair and decided to apologize. After the school assembly, they approached Adaeze. We are sorry, Adaeze, Ngozi said. We didn't know who you are, but that's not excuse for our behavior. Can you forgive us? Adaeze looked at them and nodded. I forgive you. Let's try to be friends from now on. After the assembly, things started to change for the better. Adaeze's classmates were curious about her life as a presence and asked her many questions. Adaeze was happy to share her stories and enjoyed learning about her classmates' lives too. During break time, Ngozi, Ifeanyi, and Chidebere approached Adaeze with nervous smile. We are really sorry, Ngozi said again. We didn't mean to hurt you. Adaeze smiled warmly. It's okay, let's start fresh. From that day on, Adaeze, Chinyere, Ifeanyi, and Chidebere became a close-knit group. They played together, helped each other with homework, and shared snacks during lunch. The bullies learned that being kind and having friends was much more fun than being mean. A few weeks later, the school announced a big festival. There would be game, food, and a talent show. All the students were excited and started preparing for the big day. Adaeze and her friends decided to participate in the talent show. They brainstormed ideas and finally decided to perform traditional Igbo dance. Adaeze taught her friends some dance moves she had learned at the palace. Every day after school, they practiced together. They laughed when someone made a mistake and encouraged each other to keep trying. Adaeze felt grateful for her new friends and the wonderful experience she was having at school. Finally, the day of the festival arrived. The school was decorated with colorful banners and balloons. Stalls selling delicious food lined the playground, and the air was filled with the sound of laughter and music. Adaeze and her friend were nervous but excited. They put on their traditional outfit and gathered backstage, holding hands for support. When it was their turn, they walked onto the stage and took their position. The music started, led the dance. The audience watched in awe as they moved gracefully to the rhyme. Adaeze's parents, King Obinna and Queen Nneka, were in the front seat now, cheering loudly for their daughter. When the dance ended, the audience erupted in applause. Adaeze and her friends bowed and waved, their faces beaming with pride and happiness. It was a moment they would never forget. After the talent show, Mr. Okeke took the stage. She smiled warmly at the student and said, I am so proud of all of you. You have shown great talent and teamwork. Today, we have a special surprise. The students looked at each other, wondering what the surprise could be. Mr. Okeke continued, as you all know, Princess Adaeze is among us. To honor her and to celebrate our wonderful school, the king and the queen have a gift for us. King Obinna and Queen Nneka stood up and walked to the stage. The king spoke. We are delighted to see you happy, Adaeze, in this school. To show our gratitude, we will be funding a new playground and a new library for the school. The students cheered loudly, their faces lighting up with excitement. Adaeze felt a swell of pride and happiness. She realized that her time at the school had not only brought her a new friend, but also brought something special to everyone. The next few weeks were filled with excitement as the construction of the new playground and library began. Adaeze and her friends watched eagerly as workers brought in materials and started building. They could not wait to see the finished result. During this time, Adaeze's friendship grew even stronger. She spent many times an afternoon at Chinyere's house, helping her with chores and sharing stories about palace life. In return, Chinyere taught Adaeze how to cook delicious village dishes. The bond they formed was special and unbreakable. The final day arrived for the grand opening of the new playground and library. The entire village gathered at the school for the celebration. There were colorful decorations, traditional music, and plenty delicious food. Adaeze and her friend were chosen to cut the ribbon. As they stood in front of the shiny new playground, Adaeze felt a surge of pride. This was a gift that would bring joy to all the children in the village for years to come. King Obinna handed Adaeze the scissors. "Go ahead, my dear," King said with a smile. Adaeze took a deep breath and cut the ribbon. The crowd cheered, and children immediately ran to play in the new swing and slide, climbing frames. The next move, they moved to the library. Inside, there was shelves filled with books of all kinds. Adaeze's eyes sparkled with excitement as she looked at the rows of colorful books. "This is amazing," she acclaimed. "This is amazing," she explained. "This is amazing," she acclaimed. With the new playground and library, the school felt more vibrant than ever. Adaeze and her friends spent many happy hours playing and reading together. However, a new challenge soon arose. One day, Mrs. Okeke announced that the school would participate in an international school quiz competition. The students would have to study hard and work together to win. Adaeze and her friends decided to form a team and represent their school. They met every afternoon in the new library to study. Chinyere was great at maths. Ngozi knew a lot about history. Ifeanyi was a science whiz, and Chidebere excelled in literature. Adaeze, with her love for stories, helped them all with reading comprehension in English. As the competition day approached, the friends grew more nervous, but also more excited. They knew this was their chance to make their school proud once again. The day of the quiz competition arrived. The school hall was filled with students, teachers, and parents. The atmosphere was tense with anticipation. Adaeze and her friends sat at the designated table, waiting for the competition to start. The quiz master, Mrs. Adaeze, and Mr. Adaeze stepped up to the podium. "Welcome everyone to the International School Quiz Competition. Let's begin with the first round." The questions were challenging, but Adaeze and her friends worked together, whispering answers and encouraging each other. They answered questions on maths, science, history, and literature, showcasing their teamwork and knowledge. As the competition progressed, their school moved up the leaderboard. The final round was a rapid fire round, and tension was palpable. Adaeze's heart raced as Mrs. Eze asked the last question. Chinyere quickly scribbled the answer on the board, and they held their breath as Mrs. Eze reviewed it. Correct, Mr. Eze announced. The winners of this year's International School Quiz Competition are Omaya Primary School. The hall erupted in applause. Adaeze and her friends hugged each other, overjoyed with their victory. They walked up to the stage to receive their trophy, feeling proud and accomplished.